Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Sports Performance Podcast. Welcome all new listeners and welcome back to those who have heard our content in the past. If you want to know what is the 12-month guide to maximizing your health and enjoying life with less aches and pains, you need to tune into this episode. Before I go on to the podcast, what is new with the sports performance family? I know we have missed an episode here and there. We have been busy behind the scenes trying to get things ready to make sure that we can help our clients into the new year. We have some new team members. If you go into any of our locations, you'll see some new smiling faces and some upgrades that we were doing to our team and facility. So, really excited about that. Other than that, life is fantastic. Honestly, just getting ready for the new year. And that's why we had a great discussion around the team where we always talk about client cases. We always try and figure out how do we maximize people's health. And so the topic came up: what would we do if we had an ideal scenario with working one of our clients right now? What would be the best year-long, 12-month program or guide that somebody who, if you knew you could help them with all forms of health and wellness, whether that's nutrition or strengthening or rehab or whatever that is, what would that look like? And that was the discussion that started this whole podcast topic. And so I wanted to share with you because this directly helps you figure out what can I be doing for the next few months or year if I knew how to avoid that. And I want to say that you have to understand that pain, aches, and pains that you develop over time, whether that's been your hip or your low back or whatever we see you for at sports performance, is that pain is preventable. Now, let me break that apart. Uh, Pain in the form of things that develop over time. I'm not talking about, if you were to get into a car accident or fall from a step or you twisted your arm because you reached out wrong or whatever that is. That we call trauma. So pain that just develops without trauma is what I'm talking about today. And that's probably 80 to 90% of what we see at sports performance. And so our big goal is, how do we mitigate that? How do we get people to have less of that pain because it is preventable? And so today I'm going to share how do we maximize your health and ensure that you don't have these things coming back or developing new aches and pains. And so I'm going to start with our 12-month guide, which is broken up into three things. And I'm going to assume that maybe you have a little bit of aches and pains currently, and nothing is preventing you from developing a new program into the new year. And you're really excited, you're motivated. And so I'm going to lay out some three simple things that you should be doing right now, planning for the next 12 months, the next year, whatever it is, to maximize your health. Because all of us experience aches and pains, discomfort here and there, and it is really about trying to figure out how to reduce those while continuing to exercise. That's the tricky part for a lot of us. How do I do more? How do I run more? How do I hike more? How do I swim more? How do I play with my kids more without developing more pain or being frustrated and losing time going to the gym or losing time with the community that you're working with? And so I'm going to outline these three things. And I really, whether you're driving or you're at the gym, I really want you to focus in on this. I save this podcast, share it with friends, because be a good place for you to always reset and be regrounded in everything that you're doing to ensure that you're on the right path. All right. So here they are. So number one is, I know this sounds really fundamental, but it's very tough to help people if they don't understand what they want to do. For instance, if you have back pain, we might ask you, okay, what does this back pain interfere with in your life, and what is the thing that you want to be able to do? Well, I want to be able to go to the gym, to 3 to 4 times a week. Okay, great. What's the purpose in that? Like, what is it that you're trying to do? Is it that you want to lose weight? You want to get better health? You want to increase your bone density? Do you want to compete in something? Do you want to do a 5K? There's always something that we're trying to do. We're humans. That's just very natural. And so the biggest thing here to do is establish, what is it that your short term or long term goal is. And for some of us, that could be, for those of you who know, in 2009. 2020 and 21, I set out a mission to lose 50 pounds. That was a big one for me. And I knew that wasn't going to happen overnight. So I broke 52 pounds into 52 weeks. So all I had to do was lose 1 pound per week, and that was more reasonable for me. And I can always work backwards and try and figure out how to do it. And so for some of you, it might be, well, I want to gain 5 pounds of muscle mass. I want to be able to exercise 5 days a week, and that's a big goal for people. And you can't just do that right off the top without any progression on that. So, the biggest thing you can do is start with some form of a target. Give me a goal, a general outline of what you're looking forward to. Or maybe you just had a kid and you want to be able to get back to your routine, or go back to a fitness routine, or whatever that is, or your bone density is a challenge. And you're looking to gain that back. So for all of you, you have to have something to work towards, and that takes a lot of thought. Maybe that takes a pen and a paper for you to finally sit down right now. Think about this while you listen to this podcast. What is the one thing that if you did next year would make a huge impact in your mental health, in your happiness, in your how good you feel about yourself, your confidence, how good you feel about your health, how much, like, what's the one thing that would give you the most energy next year? What's the one thing that would give you, your years back? What's that one thing? And for some of you right now, mine is sleep. For those of you who don't know, Stephanie and I have 3 kids. Zach, who's 7, Alex, who's 5, and Jacob, who's 2. And so sleep is intermittent, especially if they're sick, if they're not feeling good, or whatever it is. And so sleep is very, very important to me. It's important to Steph, and to me, that is a target. If I can average 7.5 to 8 hours a night, which all of us can understand, that's very, very challenging. And so that to me is a big goal. That's my priority, and I have to start there. What's the one thing that would make me very happy, that give me the most energy, that make me most productive at work, maybe most productive in my relationships with my kids? It would be sleep. Now, not working out. Working out is pretty consistent for me. I enjoy getting about 5 to 7 days of exercise. So it's always an equation. Anytime that we work with clients, we're trying to figure out why people develop pain. Is it because there's three main reasons? Is it because you're doing too much, you're training too much, you're exercising too much? Is it that you're recovering not enough? So for instance, is it your nutrition, or is it your sleep? We call it a cup. So imagine putting water in a cup, and every time you drink from that, there's less water in that cup. And that's what exercise is. It's stress to the body. So if you're exercising 5 or 7 days a week, you keep drinking out of that cup. Well, sleeping and eating right and hydration refills that cup. So you have this equation week to week of how much are you actually, how much water are you emptying out of the cup, and how much are you filling back. And so Stephanie and I, we exercise pretty regularly, but right now it's a recovery challenge. We're not able to refill that back up, and so that's a heavy priority to us. So everywhere in your life, you're doing more. You're adding stress to your life, which is taking water out of the cup, and what are you refilling with? So you have to figure out what is the goal, right? And then there's an acronym right underneath that: frequency, intensity, time, and type. So the frequency is, how often do you want to be able to do this? Whether it's bike riding, or you want to do a triathlon, or whatever it is, what is going to be required? How many times per week are you going to have to exercise in order to accomplish that? Second part of that is the intensity. How much intensity? How hard are you going to have to work? Is it a simple strategy? Is it going to be very intense in your body? What's the type of exercise? Are you going to be swimming? Are you going to be biking? Are you going to be hiking? Are you going to be going to the gym? Whatever that is. And then what's the total time that you want to be able to do this? So are you going to have to work out 30 minutes or 45 minutes, or are you sleeping 8 hours, not 6 hours? So that's the first part. I have to understand what your goal is, right? And you might say, well, because I don't know what my goal is. And that's a big challenge for a lot of people. So they go and exercise, and what happens is a friend says, "Hey, why don't you start playing softball with me on the weekends?" And so there was no target before, and of course you say, "Oh, that sounds great. I haven't done that in 5 to 10 years. Let's go do that." And then now your shoulder hurts or your back hurts. Well, what happened is you increased the amount of stress to that area, and you didn't replenish that cup. And so we can see that as a clinician, as healthcare providers, our job and what we love is determining where you can use the help. So that's the first part. The second part is you have to figure out what your goal is, and then find out the frequency, intensity, time, and type. And that's like I said, that's our favorite part. And the second part is what are internal or external or things inside or things outside your life that add so much stress to you? So that could be, that could be your kids. I say that because I'm a parent, and as you can understand, it can be pretty stressful sometimes, but they replenish so much. And so the goal here is, what adds stress to your life? What is the thing? What are the things that when you've been in pain, what was the thing that increased that stress that led to you having pain? Is that you drive a lot for work? Is you stand a lot for work? Is it that you do heavy labor at work? Are those stressors? Then you need more recovery. Or if you have plenty of sleep, but maybe you just need to do more. You need to get off the couch. You just need to be more active. You need more stress in your life, and you have plenty of recovery. So the reason why people develop pain or they have challenges in their life is because they have a hard time managing these stressors, both internal and external. So internal are how much inside, your brain do you cause that, some of that stress to yourself. And one of the best ways you can do that is by, having an outlet, and whether that's talking to somebody or getting some exercise or somehow releasing those endorphins and getting more dopamine, all these great things that produce happiness in your life. Being able to identify those things, what are the things that limit you or challenge you internally, and then what are ways that we can overcome that? And the second part of this is the external stressors. Is it somebody who you depend on? To maybe it's your workout partner, and they don't wake up on time, or they say, "Hey, yeah, you go by yourself," or somebody that you can't rely on. Is that an external force or external stressor that isn't allowing you to maximize your goals? Is it your spouse who isn't, being supportive and telling you, go exercise, go do these things, make yourself a priority? Is it whatever that is, or is it your work schedule and you need to get up super early? In either case, there's a lot of barriers to you being the best version of yourself and maximizing your health. And I can't tell you what those are. Only you can. And that's why I want to get your brain thinking in the right place. What are these things holding me back, causing me pain, not allowing me to get to where I want to be? So number one is I have to establish your goals with and find out what the frequency, intensity, type is for your exercise routine or your health routine to get there. The second part of that, as I mentioned, we have to identify what the biggest barriers, the internal and external stressors are to your life that are limiting you from getting there. And the last part is what is your support system to keep you accountable to doing that? And for some of you might say, well, I'm really good at it, and I can do it myself. And I'll tell you this, we've helped tens of thousands of clients over the last 9 years at Sports Performance. I've been practicing 15 years of my life. I've worked in pro sports. I've worked with professional athletes. I've lived with athletes, worked with athletes who've lived in dorms, who I've helped day in, day out, 7 days a week to be able to help them achieve the highest caliber of performance. And I can tell you, even at the highest, and actually especially at the highest level, with gold medalists, highest performing tennis players, soccer players, football players. These are the people you might think, wow, they're the best in their class. They probably are so motivated and they can do all these things by themselves. I'll tell you what, at the highest level, it's the most difficult because even them have a hard time staying focused because they have a lot of internal and external stressors, a lot of pressure there. You and I have a lot of things that we have to be concerned about. Do we have food in the fridge? Have we paid the bills? Have you done these things? Where are your kids? What's happening with schools? What's your workout routine? And so all this chaos in life takes over, and your fitness starts to become less of a priority because of the seasons of life, whether that's work is stressing you, and your kids are having a challenge, or whatever that is. And so fitness plays this elevator. It's the 10th floor. It's the most highest priority of your life. And then when you get sick and life happens to you, it's the lowest priority. And you have to ride this elevator and ride this wave on a regular basis. And so having somebody there to say, "Hey, how is your exercise? How is your exercise? How's your health? How is life? How's fitness? How's it? How?" And having those people is so refreshing because you don't have to think. The more chaos you add to your life, the more things you do, the harder it is to do that. And so that's why people have personal trainers, they have physical therapists, they have people in their life to be able to help support them. It's not that you can't do it by yourself. That's 100% true. We completely get that. But that's assuming you have no other stressors in life, you have nothing else to worry about, and 100% you can do that. And so a lot of people, as we see clients more and more, we realize, we ask them, what took you so long? What was the challenge coming in to see us? And they was like, I tried to do it myself. I tried YouTube. I tried Google. I tried doing all these other things. And I found myself getting worse. I found myself getting in a place where I didn't feel good about myself. I didn't feel active. I didn't feel confident. I've lost my strength. I've lost all these other things. And ultimately they felt like they couldn't do it by themselves anymore. And that's the biggest strength that I've seen in a lot of clients, just having a support system. It could be your friend, it could be your families, it could be a personal trainer, it could be anything you want. Now, here's the caveat to all of these things. I realize that if a person, it doesn't have a vested interest in pushing you. So this is somebody who, if it's your spouse, they will always treat you and go with what the path of least resistance is. Oh, you don't have to exercise. You don't have to do this. Don't worry about that. That's okay. They don't. They want to help you, but they also have an interesting relationship where it's shared with love and support. And so when you have somebody who needs to push you, you need that person in your life. And if they're a loved one, sometimes those priorities will shift, and they will not always push you as hard as you can be pushed. And that's okay. You need somebody from an outside source. You need a neighbor who maybe doesn't, you say, hey, here's the agreement. I need you, no matter what happens. If I'm sick, I need you to come check on me. I need you to push me. I need you, somebody else that's not in your household. And that's what I've learned quite a bit from helping clients over the last 15 years. And my wife and I do this. This is a regular thing as well. I say, hey, I need you to help keep me accountable, and help me with these projects and these type of things. And things get lost, and so you do need an outside source to help you with that. And so the three things, reviewing them, are: you need to determine what your goals are. You need to determine what your fitness is going to be over the next year. You need to find out what your internal and external stressors are. What are the things that are going to block you or limit you from doing that? And then lastly, what's your support system to be able to get that? Who's going to help you with that accountability? While you might be really, really good about these things, life will happen to you, whether that's work or fitness or life or illness or whatever it is. And I will tell you, these are the three things you can do. And as we've discovered this, we've always at Sports Performance trying to figure out, how do we, what are the simple things that we can do? So we check on our clients, we send you guys emails, how are you doing? How are your goals? And we hear it regularly. Gosh, I should have been coming in. I should have done that. And so, to help our clients to be able to help you, we've put a program together called our Wellness Club to be able to help people like you do these all of these three things. Determine what the goals are, help you with goal setting. What does this mean for you? What's realistic? What's not going to be helpful? What's too aggressive? What's too conservative? What's the fine line for you right now in your given stage? And if you have aches and pains, that might not be the best idea for you. I would try this instead. We've also, from an outside source, we've also been able to help determine, gosh, this is an external stressor. We see this. This is when you start to have more aches and pains. This is what happens at work. And we can help identify those things. And we've been able to partner with clients to be able to help them with support and accountability to just ensure that they're in the right place. And so, we built our wellness club to be able to provide that to our community, to provide the accountability, to provide a system, to provide a program, to provide direction, ultimately, and build a stronger community of people who understand it, who get it, who appreciate it. And so, everything behind the scenes has been about how do we help our clients achieve more with less pain. And ultimately, that's why we created our wellness club. And our wellness club is essentially establishing, sitting down with our team and establishing what the goals are for the new year. And then now developing a year-long process, a 12-month goal for you, and with established days and times that you meet monthly. And now having a plan. When clients come to see us, we completely appreciate that, aches and pains have happened, and they want to know, how do I get out faster? How do I get rid of this? I don't want this in my life anymore. And we'll develop a plan for you and we get you out. And what we've noticed is that pain, that soreness and aches and pains come back. And the only reason that has happened is because we never said, well, how do we keep this, from happening again? How do we create a plan? There's an easy plan to get you out of pain. We can figure out why it happened. And there's an easy plan we can get you out. But what we realize is clients kept coming back with new injuries, or it re-aggravated. And that to us is we realized, well, how do we prevent that from happening? How do we not allow our clients to continue to have those aches and pains or risk the re-injury? So we developed the wellness club so that way we can create a plan moving forward prospectively, not retrospectively. That's retrospective is pain. And we created a prospective plan where you meet with monthly with our team to be able to figure out, okay, what does your body need? What does your health need this year? Is it nutrition? Is it strength and conditioning? Is it stretching? Is it flexibility? What is it that you need to make sure that your health is maximized for the next 12 months? And so, we created a 12-month complete guide to be able to say, okay, great, this is what we're going to, these are some targets. And even if you don't have a goal, we'll help you create that. Look at what is it that you really want to accomplish? Well, I just want to maintain fitness and I want to train, I want to exercise 3 to 5 days a week. Okay, great. By when? How many months? What is it that you need? What's going to get in the way? And we identify those things. And even when you don't feel great, we're here to look at what numbers or what metrics do you need to help you keep you accountable, whether that's your weight or your strength or your flexibility or your back range of motion or whatever that is. We'll figure that out for you, and now create a 12-month plan of what is it that you truly need to ensure that your stiffness and aches and pains and all the progress that you've made doesn't continue to affect you, while you continue to increase your activity level. You be able to do more with less aches. And that is essentially everything inside our wellness club. And if you're a client or you've been around with us or haven't been around in the past, or you have friends or family in the area, just know our goal is to be able to give you the tools so that you can do this on your own. That is our ultimate goal. And while you've been able to do that for a large portion of time, or maybe you haven't been able to, we understand that people will ebb and flow in their health. And we wanted to provide this option for the person who wants accountability, they want support, they want a plan, they don't want to have a guessing game anymore. They're sick and tired of things happening. They have 3 or 4 back flare-ups a year. Their neck pain continues to flare them up, and they're just tired of going in and out. And while you've been able to see us with massage or our performance training or physical therapy, this is different. This is, yes, we'll get you out of pain, but more importantly, how do we keep you out? How do we keep you out of pain? How do we reduce the risk of it coming back? This is a prospective 12-month plan to help keep you happy, healthy, and feeling your absolute best and living your best life. And that's the way I can describe our wellness club. And ultimately, it's a community of people who really value their health. They want something different. They're tired of all the normal stuff that they've been able to do, and they're frustrated. And they are looking for that unique community to help keep them in a really good spot with their health and their mental health and all of the above. And the exciting part is we're going to have a special event and potentially events uh, for our members to be able to truly just unify everybody, so that way you can share your stories and be able to see other people who are just like you doing the same things. And we do it at Sports Performance. All of our clients, they love being part of the community, and now we're just going to expand that into a larger community of people who already come to see us. We just literally want you guys to meet each other because you guys are all incredible, truly incredible, and we want to unify our community inside Chula Vista, San Diego, Kearney Mesa, and the overall San Diego County and beyond. So whether that's you virtually listening to this podcast or you live in the area, we're excited to help you into the new year, into the next 12 months. So if you are interested in any of this information, our wellness club, you can go to our website, sportsperformancept.com /wellness club. If not, on your next visit into our facility, get a handout. You'll have plenty of signs all over with QR codes to tell you more information, and just make sure it's the right decision for yourself to take your health to that next level. So there you have it. That is 12 months compacted into a guide to keep you healthy and truly living your best life with less aches and pains. Okay. I will see you guys on the next episode. I hope you guys are doing amazing and truly living your healthiest life. All right. Take care.